Today's how-to is going to be how to tie the arbor knot in your fluorocarbon line, which will be used to attach to the Lillian on your rod. So this piece of fly line will be my high-vis fluorocarbon line, and the process would be very different if you're using a furled line. This only applies to the level line, which I talked about in my previous video that I use the majority of the time. So the first step that I do is tie a stopper knot, a square knot, in the end of the fluorocarbon line. So I make a loop, passing it behind. I add one twist to it, and then I pass the tag end through, and that gives you a square knot. Now you can just use an overhand knot as well. Sometimes the fluorocarbon line, if you're using small line, having that stopper knot will be a little bit bigger of a knot, so it's a little gives you a little extra traction when you're using it to loosen your knot. So you have the stopper knot there, and you can certainly trim off the tag. Don't have to leave it on, but it kind of aids in this next step a little bit. So now you tie the arbor knot. So same first step, I tie a loop, or I make a loop, passing it behind, and I pinch it. Then all you do is you tie an overhand knot in that upper section right there. So I'll just get some extra slack to make it easier on myself. So you pass it over and then through, and pull. You have to make sure that stopper knot is through that loop. So you get right there, you just got an overhand knot in that upper loop, and then you pull it, snug it up a little bit, and that provides the slip knot that you'll use to attach to the Lillian, which I will demonstrate after I show this one more time. So to undo that, you can actually just pull it and it comes out. So make a loop, then you tie an overhand knot to that upper, on that upper one. And again, you're making sure that that knot gets through the loop. And that's all there is to it. And that provides your slip knot. You have your stopper knot that you can use to loosen it, and then you just pull to tighten. So now I'll attach the Lillian to the fluorocarbon line. First step is I pass the Lillian through the loop from behind. It's just the way I do it. Either direction will work. And then do a second time. And then I pinch both sections, and it'll look something like that, just wrapped around that loop twice. Now, ordinarily I would have the rod butt under my left elbow, and so the rod is pointing away from me, and I pinch both ends of the Lillian, or the end of the Lillian and the standing line of the Lillian with my rod tip, and I tighten away from me, and it's not sliding very well because of the sticky fly line, but by just pulling straight away, it keeps the pressure in line. So in the event that the Lillian slips out, it's going to be in line, and you're not going to break a rod tip. I've seen it done and shown where they put their finger over the top of the rod and hold the Lillian like that and pull perpendicular to the line, or to the rod itself. And if that happens to slip, if your fingers are wet or cold, and a little section of that tip pokes out of that rod, when you pull, it's going to snap that rod very quickly. One more time, to release the line, you just pull on that tag end, and again, it's sticky, so that's why it's not sliding easily. The fluorocarbon will, but by pulling just on the stopper knot, it will increase the size of that line, and you'll be able to pull the Lillian right out. So let me show that one more time. So you've got your arbor knot, the loop from it, pass the Lillian behind it once, and then go through a second time, pinch both ends along with the tip of the rod, or at least just, get a good grip on the Lillian itself, depending on how long that Lillian is, and then you'll pull straight away, and that will cinch that knot right down onto that Lillian, and you'll have a little tag of the Lillian sticking out. And that's all there is to it, and that's not going to go anywhere. And then to loosen, you just pull on this stopper knot, and it will, the knot will, the loop will open right back up, and you can pull the Lillian out. That's all there is to it. Hope that helps.